Welcome to Congaree National Park. This is one of the youngest national parks in the U.S. National Park System, only being founded as a national park in 2003.
I'm currently taking the Boardwalk Trail, which is a 45-minute loop around a portion of the park. There are other trails, but this is the best one since it's pretty flat and even, making it super accessible to nature lovers no matter their hiking experience. There's also canoe opportunities if you've got the time.
Now, the park was first established as Congaree Swamp National Monument in the 70s and later rebranded as Congaree National Park in 2003. And the reason it was called a swamp is because you can see the Congaree River right here behind me. The Congaree River and the Whiteree River both intersect within the park and form this massive floodplain that extends out throughout the whole park. And in fact, all of this that you're seeing around me is floodplain. And a large portion of this trail is actually flooded throughout the year. So you can't complete this whole hike, which is only 45 minutes long, you can't complete it for most of the year. And because there is so much standing water, that means that there's gonna be a lot of mosquitoes.
The bugs can get so bad within the park that they have a mosquito meter. I use picaridin lotion no matter where I go and only got a few bites, but I did have a lot of bugs fly into my face, though it wasn't that bad.
Of the 63 U.S. national parks, Congaree is consistently rated as one of the worst. My favorite park, which is the Everglades, is also consistently rated as one of the worst because a lot of people complain that there's no good hiking trails or impressive landmarks like what you might find in the national parks in the American West. Instead, what you find is a forest or a swamp that is damp, humid, and buggy. And to me, this feels like home.
Let's talk clothing. If you're just walking the boardwalk, I did fine with one of my long sleeve fishing shirts, shorts, and trail runners. The ground is really muddy, so if you go off the boardwalk, consider that. I also brought along my wide-brimmed hat and sunglasses, but the boardwalk was shaded enough that I didn't feel the need for them. I also brought my walking stick, which is nice to have, but is totally unnecessary. Remember, this park is a swamp, so it's gonna be humid and warm. Bring some water.
This park is incredibly close to South Carolina's capital of Columbia, and the only reason that a large old-growth forest like this still exists with all of these big giant trees that would be perfect for lumber and timber and constructing houses over the last couple hundred years, the reason it still exists is because the area that would one day become the park was owned by a billionaire. And he decided to use it as his own personal reserve of timber. Well, he eventually fell out of use for it and then died, and it fell to his estate. And in the 1970s, there was a huge push by a grassroots organization, and a guy named Hampton came along and convinced his estate to donate the land for federal protection. So in the 1970s, this area was founded as the Congaree Swamp National Monument and rebranded in 2003 as the Congaree National Park. Oh, this is so cool. This here is a loblolly pine tree, and loblollies are the biggest pine tree species in the eastern United States. And the biggest loblolly pine tree is actually here within the park and is 170 feet tall. Now, I don't know if it's this one, but this one's definitely pretty big. But some of the other tree species here within the park get over 200 feet tall. Habitats like this are ripe with wildlife. And I'm already hearing cicadas in the distance. Lots of cool different bird species. There are huge orb weaver spiders all over the place. And there's lots of other wildlife that's here that I find quite familiar. I just met this nice family and they pointed out a millipede to me, and this is an American giant millipede that you can see how big he is crawling on my hand. What a cool bug to find.
In terms of wildlife, I saw a ton of stuff at Congaree. I didn't bring my photography camera with me for photos, but several of the bugs and birds that I saw were lifers for me.
So you probably want to know, is Congaree National Park worth a visit? Well, that really depends on what you're looking for in your visits to U.S. national parks. If you're looking for scenic vistas or majestic landscapes, then probably no. However, I would say that if you're looking for something peaceful, serene, and filled with awesome, awe-inspiring nature and wildlife, then yes. And personally speaking, I think that this park makes for an amazing day trip. It's free to go to, which not all of the parks are, and the main hike is only 45 minutes long and you can see a lot of stuff in that time. And I think that that's worth it. Thank you so much for watching. This video is a part of a new series that I plan on doing on US national parks, which are something that is near and dear to my heart. If you want to see more, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Until then, I'm Zach Cole, and I'll see you out there.